Shit, right on. You got me on this mic? Go right on.
Yeah, it'd be cool to be able to do that. Like, say we watch a YouTube video, and then we can kind of talk about what's going on with it.
Yeah.
And then have that on the screen with, like, the voices behind it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if we're talking about, like...
100% on you to fucking figure out how to do that.
Yeah. Good luck, right?
Yeah,
I mean, everything's on YouTube. Everything's on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, the last podcast you said you got faster at getting it all uploaded and shit.
Oh, yeah. The last one we did, dude, took me like 30 minutes max with combining, editing, everything, and then time to post it on Spotify and Apple. It took me like, I had 30 minutes to an hour invested in that tops, which is like, from the first one, took me like 3 to 4 hours. And I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like everything else.
Let me get one of those Zens. Try that out while we do this.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. I mean, you don't got to worry about dip in your teeth.
This is 6 milligram.
Oh, yeah. I do a double decker here, 2 of them. 12 milligrams of nicotine.
Nicotine plus caffeine equals protein. Dude, that is the funniest fucking John Daly quote. I love it. I live by it now.
I mean, it's true, bro. I feel like I'm invincible with those 2 things in the morning, you know?
Yeah, man.
They're also a good combination for having to take a shit.
Zens.
Sponsor us. Yeah, they actually have like a, I didn't know about this, man. I've been doing Zen for 2 years. There's a little thing you can pull off the back, a peel tab, and a rewards thing. And if you get like 5,000 points, you get a Traeger. And I'm like, fuck, dude. I just wasted 2 years. I would
expect it like sunglasses or something, you know?
I mean, there is some shitty prizes in there. Yeah. But you get 15 points per can.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I got some Marlboro shit that comes to my house on a regular basis.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got like fucking Marlboro coasters and calendars and shit.
Nice. That's awesome. Did you ever quit smoking for a period of time, or are you still like?
Oh yeah, I'm hit or miss, man. Like I always have a pack of Marlboro Lights on me, but I don't smoke every day. I buy a pack of smokes that lasts me the week.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now if I'm drinking, that's when I gotta have them in the truck.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
But you're not going through like a pack a day or anything.
Oh, no, shit no, man.
That's good.
I just like to have them with me.
Yeah, that's good. Do you feel like that would dip too? Or are you dipping every day or?
No.
That's pretty impressive, dude.
But that's always been my philosophy though, right? So Marlboro Lights, Copenhagen pouches. Mm-hmm. You rotate them. You don't do one too much where it's bad for you. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Give your lungs a break while you're chewing. And then give your mouth a break while you're smoking.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
it's just like my redneck philosophy, I guess, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably not the healthiest, but I'm still doing it. I mean, I mean, as long as you're not doing it every single day, I feel like it's definitely a step in the right direction. I quit dipping 2 years ago, like actual, like loose snuff, or loose chew. And, these have been the only thing that have come close to me to like satisfying it.
Yeah. I mean, long cut for me, it got tough. Like it just got too sloppy.
Yeah. And then
like, talking to customers and like you're constantly in and out and then you're like pulling it out, putting it back in. I was like, yeah, man, this ain't working.
Yeah. And it makes your truck look like shit too. There's little flakes everywhere. That and kids having a spitter out. That was the thing that got me. I was like, okay, I don't want a kid knocking over or picking up a spitter.
They're only going to do that once.
Yeah. Exactly. I remember picking up my stepdad's when I was younger and like looking at it and smelling it and being like, that's not tea. That smells terrible. But I didn't put 2 and 2 together what it was till I was older.
Yeah. It's rough, dude.
Yeah. But I'm glad that people are coming out with these kind of shit. Because like you said, I don't like having it in my mouth.
I feel like that is like the vape version of the dip world. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of gay.
Yeah.
But it's better than not doing it, though.
Right, exactly. It's like I'm not going to be pissed off and mean, but I might look a little bit gay while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You still get a little skull ring in your back pocket.
Yeah, it makes it look like you do something.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm all about that, brother. Buy a new Carhartt, buy new boots. People think you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, you got the new van boots.
Yeah, I don't have them on right now.
Oh, shit.
They're uncomfortable as shit. Robbie was right.
Oh, man.
But I think
all right, well, let's do a negative review of the van boot.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it a week of wearing them before I fully shit all over them.
To me, they kind of look like snow boots.
That's kind of what they feel like.
Yeah, are they like, waterproof and shit?
Yeah, they're all Gore-Tex waterproof. I was looking at them, I was like, man, these might be a good hunting boot, honestly.
Yeah. Oh.
Because they're all Gore-Tex and stuff. But I try to avoid stepping in the water unless I'm in full rubber boots. Like, I got those lacrosse boots. Do you have those? You got the Sicko waders too, and those,
yeah. And then I bought the lacrosse ones that match with like the camo pattern.
Awesome, dude. They're awesome. I love them.
Dude, it took me a little while to figure out all the shit, where to get all the matching shit from.
Mm-hmm.
Because like my whole waterfowl get up, right? I have the Sicko waders, and I think it's like the darker like timber pattern.
The timber,
yeah. And to get the matching waterproof boots, it's through lacrosse.
Yeah.
Then I got the matching gun bag from Tangle Free.
Oh, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It takes.
But it's like it takes a while to figure out where all the like that pattern's at.
Yeah.
You know?
The other thing with that is once you commit to a pattern, like you're in it.
Oh
dude.
yeah, you're locked in.
So if you change leases and you're like, I'm going from like a mostly wooded area to like cornfield, like it ain't gonna work. Like I know you gotta be fully in on that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, just to look right. Like, because once you're invested in the get up, like you don't want like different shit.
Exactly. I don't want mixed match shit.
No. It's either I'm going full out with the fucking Sicko timber pattern, or I'm going wearing fucking Levi's in a Carhartt jacket.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Either whatever.
Yep. I'm either all in or all out. And we were talking about that. What were we talking about yesterday? We were talking about ultra running, and I feel like it's that kind of segue into that like mindset philosophy. Is like we were talking about how ultra runners will party afterwards after they're doing these 100-mile races, and how it's like those guys are either all in on something or all out of something, which is kind of like a reason why I stepped back from drinking for a long time. Was like, you know me, like if when I get on something, it's like I'm all the fuck in and I'm wide ass open on it. So when I was drinking, I was wide ass open. And when I'm working out, I'm wide ass open. So I was trying to step back, but.
Yeah, you got to just casually drink some light beers every once in a while, buddy.
Yeah, well, that was nice yesterday. We had a couple.
Yeah, man. Little sales meeting.
Yeah, coldest beer in the United States of America might be Mexico restaurant in Huntingtown.
Yeah.
I swear by that.
Yeah, you get a couple tall boys with some tacos, man. It's hard to beat.
Dude, those tacos were amazing.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Absolutely amazing. We don't have any place like that where I'm at now. I miss Mexico a lot. Yeah, man. That's probably my favorite restaurant, I would say.
Yeah, I like that Mexico restaurant. Carly likes the Tolteca place in Prince Frederick. She likes the food there better.
Ben likes that one too.
Yeah. We need to get Ben involved with this somehow.
I know, it'd be funny as shit. It'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
So Carly went away last weekend again, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
Good. Yeah, she was on Ben's fiance's bachelorette party. We already talked about that?
We did, but we haven't updated since you had the kids again for a second weekend by yourself.
No, it was just the one weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was good, man. Had the kids for 3-4 days by myself.
Nice. So you stacked some points?
Yeah.
Some drinking points? Yeah. We were talking about that.
A lot of, damn, these little fucking things. Like fucking slimy now.
Dude, yeah.
Not as big as a regular pouch.
No, but I throw it in the top.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's funny. I talk about with some of my buddies, like when the wife goes out of town and I have the kids, or she goes out for a night, like I'm stacking up points, baby. Like I'm stacking up points. And one of my buddies is like, man, you almost got enough points for one fucking beer. And he was like, you're right. I feel like stacking points with the wife is like Southwest Airlines drink tickets. You got to fly 20,000 fucking miles for one free drink, and then your wife uses it.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly how I would describe it.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, man.
I mean, but to be honest though, I don't do a whole lot of traveling and shit. Like, I'd like to just stay home on the weekends. You know?
So do I. Well, I feel like you need it too because of how like stimulating your day is as the business owner and boss. Bro, your brain is on non-fucking stop.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, you're seeing that now. Like you can't stop thinking about shit you got going on.
Right.
But it's good to go out and just do shit. But I don't like to like go places. And
right.
Do it. I like my main thing is I like to be home at night, sleep in my own bed.
100%. I do not like
no.
Imagine all the times like in college, like how many times did we go to Wilmington?
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like go up and like sleep on somebody's couch for the weekend with Curtis or whatever. Now I look at it and like you could pay me to go sleep on somebody's fucking
Fuck no, man. Tyler lived with us for like a solid year, sleeping on the couch. On the poop couch.
Yeah, on the fucking poop couch, dude. Oh my God, I fucking forgot about that. Holy shit. That's hilarious. I could never do it. I hate being away from my house to the point where if we're going out to like a wedding or something like that, I won't drink so that we can go home and stay in the house.
No, so I'm gonna get us home tonight. Like, I don't want to stay anywhere.
Yeah.
Or if I do, like on a rare occasion, like if we go somewhere and I know that we're staying the night, like I'm going to be ready and then I'm going to get up early and like we're going to go home.
Yeah, you know? I mean, it's like ass crack of dawn before other people awake. So there is a guy that we both know who is historically fucking horrible at that. We'll stay at your house and then fucking linger, dude.
The whole next day?
Dude, the whole next day. He'll eat breakfast with you.
Let's not have anywhere to be the next day.
Dude, I don't know.
I'm trying to think who it is.
It's Johnny Mac.
Johnny Mac.
Johnny Mac's famous for that, bro.
Oh, he's never hit me with that.
Well,
he's never stayed over.
He would drive. He used to drive all the time when we were drinking in college and stuff, and we'd go to visit different places. Ben's kind of fucking bad about this too. And he'd sleep in, being hungover the next day, and we'd all be like, all right, man, we got to leave. And John's like making himself at home, making himself breakfast, hanging out. Hey, where are we watching the football games, et cetera? And we're all like, dude, you're fucking lingering, man. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Lingerers.
Yeah, fucking lingerers.
No, I'm an early bird, bud. I'll be up and gone by like 7.
Yeah.
You know, but
I feel like I got to get my shit like squared away. Especially now, like I haven't been in the world in a long time. This is going to sound ridiculous. I was not unemployed for a long time. However, I never worked Mondays. For 10 years in the police department, I didn't work Mondays. And then I was off for like a year in transition. So we went somewhere close to like 11 years without working a Monday.
Right.
So I used to be wide the fuck open on Sundays. And
that's a good day to be able to do what you want. Like a little Sunday fun day, watch some sports or like just be on the boat or whatever.
That's the boat thing was the best.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting used to having to be in at work, and like this Monday I had 3 jobs, 2 crews running 3 jobs, and I'm like, it's running through my mind all day.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm like, all right, tomorrow's the day. Like this is a big step in my professional career. I would say is like also like I'm like, dude, I can't, like I'm not gonna fuck this up. Like I gotta have everything squared away.
Right.
Gene's gonna kill me if it's fucked up, which you didn't, and it did get kind of fucked up in a couple ways. Not big deals, but
just handle your own fucking shit.
Yeah.
Handle your own problems.
Yeah.
Just don't make your problems my problems.
Right.
There's no issue.
Right. Yeah. It's funny. It's like it's a Gene problem, it's a Jimmy problem, it's a Robbie problem. It's funny, like I'm seeing that now. But
like I got a phone call today, man, a little bit ago. Calvert State Highway called, and they want a crew the same day that St. Mary's does. And I was like, well, hey, Robbie, I need you to call this guy. Like,
sounds like a Robbie problem.
Right.
I want to get Robbie on here, man, one day to sit down and talk to us because he's lived a life, man. Like between being a Marine and being deployed, I feel like I'd like to pick his brain for a while. How long has he been with you now?
I would say probably like 8 months.
Cool. I don't know him that well. We all went to high school together, but I don't know him that well. He just strikes me as somebody who like I can't see pissed off.
Yeah.
Like he's pretty mellow and like lighthearted about stuff.
Yeah, you gotta kind of be like that though, just to be able to roll with the punches. Yeah. You can't just start freaking out every time something bad happens.
Well, I'm freaking out sometimes, like pretty bad. It's like yesterday I had Robbie come out and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? He's like,
this yard is fucked. Hit the cable line. Like I don't know what to do, man.
Exactly. I was like, what do you do in this situation? He's like, first you relax, and then we brainstorm. But yeah, that was cool. It's awesome being able to call him.
Yeah.
Because like I know I can call you, but I'm trying to mitigate it to like, what can I handle before I have to be like, Gene, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. Well, that's part of that. Did you watch that video I sent out to everybody?
I have watched like probably 3 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And I have to go back and finish it.
Right. That's part of the leadership thing, right? Like it's like you can't just take every little problem you have and then try to make it somebody else's problem. Like you can't do that because then over time it just becomes like, look, dude, like if you can't figure out your own problems and I got to do handle all of that, then I don't need you around. Like basically,
at all.
No, I mean, that's part of being in that position of like a management position or any type of leadership position is to be able to say, all right, this didn't go as planned. How are we going to fix it?
Yeah.
And then without having to get any, like, 4 other people involved to mess up their day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think our foremen are pretty good about that. I mean, you know, they don't, if there's a smaller issue, they try to handle it without having to call somebody.
Yeah.
But then it's a fine line, though, to where it becomes like a bigger issue, and then they still don't call. It's like, well, why didn't you call me?
And then you show up to the job when it's done, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Why didn't you call me?
You don't want to get into the habit of having them call you for every little thing. Because it's like, dude, why did I have to come out here for this?
Right.
You know?
It's a fine line. Right. It's a feeling out process, I feel like, on both ends.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes to like what you're saying about the video and stuff. And I'm going to finish watching it. It's like, it's accountability. Learning to take accountability of like, and I almost feel like it's easier to say, like, I'm thinking about long-term issues. If I were to come to you and say, I sell a job and I'm like, hey, Gene, this was this guy's problem. He fucked this up. I'm sorry. Well, the reason this was fucked up because this is the other guy. You keep rolling around in circles, and then the end product's still going to be fucked. Whether if I just come to you, I feel like as a boss and a leader, you would accept me more saying, Gene, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, how are we going to fix it?
Right.
Rather than keep rolling continually downhill of like, it's this guy's fault, it's this guy's fault. Yeah. And that carries over in everyday life, right? Self-accountability.
Yeah, you can't just blame everybody else for the problems.
Yeah.
Like the Charles County job you did the other day, which that didn't really get really bad.
Right.
Like that was still handled. It seems like a big deal at the time, but then afterwards you're like, okay, we kind of got through it.
Yeah.
But like looking back on it 2 or 3 days later, it's like, okay, that wasn't that big of an issue. I'm glad I didn't tell Gene to drive to Waldorf to fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Because we figured it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Because you were saying, hey, do you want me to call so-and-so to handle this? And I'm like, I don't know. I want to figure this out with my guys and not ruin a relationship or have my boss have to stop what he's doing to fix Jimmy's problem. You know what I mean? Like, and at the time, you're right. It seems like a super big fucking deal. And then afterwards, you're like, man, in the grand scheme of things that could have gone wrong, it's really not that big of a deal.
Right.
Yeah. And self-accountability is kind of a weird thing because I look at it in terms of like working out too. Like when I'm in workouts, and CrossFit's kind of weird because there's like metrics that you have to hit. Like you're competing against people. It's like sports and everything. Like accountability when it comes to terms of effort.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard. And you know this from working out in your garage. Like, if someone were to ask you, Gene, after a workout, hey, did you try your hardest? Like, dude, it's tough in the moment to be like, yeah, I guess I had a little bit more in the tank. Or
that's like the whole David Goggins concept, right? Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
like
you watch that dude, man, he's fucking nuts.
I've listened to all his books probably like 5 or 6 times, and I know his story, and it's the same fucking story, and he gets me to pay $20 every single time he comes out with a book because I just can't look away from it.
Yeah, he's definitely like he found his niche just with the motivational stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, he gets people locked in for sure.
Yeah. There's a huge market in the United States in general for people that do hard shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
From people that don't. How many times do you know somebody that's like into David Goggins or into these guys who have like extreme ownership or extreme like workout ethic, et cetera, and they buy these things, they listen to these podcasts, and then you see them 2 years later and they're like in the same shape or the same state of professionalism or whatever that they're in. And I'm just like, how do people keep spending money and listening to these people nonstop and they don't make a fucking change? Like, at what point are you going to be like, all right, what these guys are saying, maybe I should fucking get it through my head and start doing something else about it.
But we live in a world now, though, where a lot of that shit is just like advertisement shit to try to get you to buy into something.
Dude, yeah.
So it's like hard to kind of filter through that.
It's really hard.
You know, because the truth is there's no magic pill you can do.
No.
Like the only thing you can really buy into is like a mindset and then like get determined to do something. That's 100%. The only thing that's going to change it.
100%. It's totally on you. Yeah. Whether I listen to David Goggins for 6 hours and then come in here and I sit on my phone on TikTok or not self-motivated to like flip that switch and go. Like you said, at some point, like it's just got to turn on. And I think people are looking for a deeper, easier answer to like what flips the switch. I don't think it does. And sometimes it's not even that deep. Like people ask me, I've been on podcasts and shit about Murph 365, like every single day doing an hour workout. And I wish I could sit here and tell you like I had this extreme fucking motivation and deep drive and hunger to do this. But like, dude, at the end of the day, it was just kind of like, get it done or don't get it done. And there wasn't any kind of crazy like pep talk or it was habit. And I think you as a business owner have that too, where it comes in as like, you want to be successful, and there's no switch that you flipped one day and you were like, I'm going to be successful. Because I've known you for a long time, coming from high school football to college to everything. Like, you've always stood out to me as somebody who's internally motivated and just does what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said about the Murph thing with you, people have come to me and asked me about starting a business, or like, hey, how'd you do this, or how'd you make this decision? I'm like, I mean, I don't have like just a straight yes or no or a straightforward answer for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, look, dude, either you're going to do it or you're not. I don't know what to tell you. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Either grow a set and just jump for it, or I don't know. Like,
yeah. And I mean, you've always kind of just done what needs to be done. Even in high school, like we were talking about the weight room, bro. Like, I would make 25 excuses of why I didn't have to lift rather than just doing it and being done with it.
Right.
You would just go in, do your shit, do what you're supposed to do. You come to practice, do what you're supposed to do. You never made too much noise. You never complained about anything. I just feel like you've always kind of been wired to just get the fucking job done.
Right.
Which is you can see it translate into you as a business owner too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's that. I feel like that's that offensive lineman mentality.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not a dude that gets a lot of credit.
Right.
Doesn't stand out. Nobody talks about him, but he's there every day.
Just doing his job.
Do your job, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That is definitely a cool thing that I've seen carry over throughout your life. It's pretty badass.
Yeah. You and Ben weren't very good at the college thing.
Dude.
I was like, look, guys, like, I remember saying this in college to you guys. I'm like, look, it's not that difficult. Like, we're having fun. You just got to go to class and give a little bit of effort, and you can make it last 4 years.
If we want to keep this party going, you guys got to do something to make it happen. Yeah, it was bad. They asked us both to take a break. We don't want you guys here anymore.
Right. Yeah, you're not invited back.
Yeah. And college is something that I feel like now I definitely did not need in my life at all. For any of my careers, it didn't really make sense for me to even go, but I just did it because you were kind of supposed to do it, or it was expected.
Yeah. I think that's changing now.
Definitely.
I think there's been a lot of light kind of shown on the collegiate world to not be as necessary, and it might just be like the social media shit that's kind of pushing that way of thinking out. But it's not. I feel like now more so than when we were in high school, there's other career paths that are kind of like presented.
Yeah.
You know? For
sure. But I also do think that, so I'm not somebody who's saying everybody needs to go to college.
Yeah.
But thinking about, let's just take your business as an example. So in order for you to do you need a college degree to do what you're doing right now? Probably not. However, you've learned everything you've learned from actually working. However, to get into the position to branch off and run your own business, you might need it.
I think the main thing is, like, so college has helped me out with networking.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts you in a mindset of kind of being able to be responsible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And take the calculated risk and kind of have the maturity to maybe reach out to somebody that's been there, done that. Hey, how would you go about this, or whatever? Mm-hmm. So it kind of gives you the mental capacity to kind of handle those situations.
Yeah.
But no, they don't fucking teach you, hey, do step 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you'll be at here. Like, that's not how that shit works.
No.
It just kind of sets you up just mentally to be able to make those decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, man, no, I could do what I do every day without a degree. There's a lot of people doing it without a degree.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it may have taken them longer, or they have to work a little harder. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's probably a lot of years in the field too.
Yeah.
To establish networking or et cetera, to be able to branch off on your own. But I do think what is happening on social media is definitely you're seeing that there's entrepreneurial roles and businesses and things that you can do to be successful in life that don't necessarily mean you have to have a degree. And I would say some of the best return, as in far as like salaries and et cetera go, and money that you can make is from not doing something that has anything to do with a college degree.
Right.
At all.
Yeah, man. Like, I follow a few, I guess you call them like influencers or whatever on social media about like investing and money and the entrepreneurial stuff. And like a lot of them, they kind of make it a point to point out that like, say you have like a guy like Mark Cuban or whatever. When you ask him how he made his money or how he got to the point where he's at, not a single one of them guys say, yeah, school. I did good in school. Like, fuck that. No, nobody says that. That's not an answer. You know? Yeah. It's always either you took this risk or you did this or you got involved with this or whatever. Yeah, I mean, school sets you up for being able to think a certain way, but that's it. The rest is up to you.
Yeah. I do think that part of college, though, that 4 years of branching off from high school where you're pretty dependent on other people to grow as like a human, of being responsible for yourself and figuring shit out on your own, does mean something.
Yeah.
Whether, you know, I guess it could be replicated by your parents kicking you out of the fucking house at 18 and saying, figure it the fuck out.
Right.
And this is kind of like an easier path that sets you up for success in terms of like the cushion to fall on is a little bit, it's there.
Yeah.
You know, so you do have that room to grow and expand and kind of learn how to be an adult and socially network and do all that other shit. So I guess it's good for that. But the other issue I have is like with academia in general, I just feel like it's so fucking woke, dude. Like they just spend so much time like shoving shit that doesn't have anything to do with what you're studying or anything down your throat.
Oh, it's bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I think, and I think that's going to be the demise of the whole college world, to be honest. Like them pushing a certain agenda and just completely discouraging a whole demographic of people. Be like, man, fuck, I don't want to hear what you got to say, buddy.
It's crazy.
You know?
Yeah, it's crazy because I don't ever remember us growing up in college or high school or anything talking about anything political or anything that was racy or like.
Yeah, but you say that, but looking back on it, you might not have been mature enough at the time to realize what they were doing.
That's very true.
You're just taking it in.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like, whatever, sure. Fucking, like, whatever this lady's saying, I ain't really listening anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't really listen to shit.
But she might have been pushing it down your throat, but you're just like, it's in one ear, out the other.
That's a really good point. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
They probably
but now
were.
you as like the adult Jimmy would be like, man, fuck this lady. You know, like
yeah, why are you telling me this shit?
Right.
The other thing that I find really weird is like, that scares me as a parent when it comes to academia in general is like the pushing of like sexuality as even being a fucking discussion for like 3rd and 4th graders. Like, dude,
stupid.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm all about, and I've heard one of the guys that listen to a podcast talk about this too. Like he's one of the biggest supporters of gay rights that there is in the world. No, I mean, I feel like I don't know anybody that's homophobic, right? We don't care, but I don't want a rainbow flag being flown from my kid's school because I don't want them to have a question. I want them to figure it out on their own. I don't want anybody else manipulating that decision to do anything and talking about sexuality in the 3rd and 4th grade. It seems fucking ridiculous to me.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. Like I remember sex ed in 5th grade.
Yeah.
It was like the very basic shit of, you know, whatever, like genitals or like naked pictures, and they like have like a little fucking arrow that points to something and tells you what it is.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. That's like biology type stuff.
Right.
But like no, like the whole being able to like be fluid or choose what you want to be, that's complete bullshit.
Yeah, it is complete bullshit.
Yeah,
I mean, there's been studies.
And I might be a very just like a small bubble type of guy, I guess. I don't know anybody that agrees with it.
Yeah.
Not a single person.
I don't either.
So it's like who's pushing this or who does agree with this to make it even a topic of discussion? Dude,
I say the same thing all the time with stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know anybody that agrees that that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Where are these people coming from?
I think they're made up people on the internet because I don't know any of them in real life.
Russian bots, dude. You gotta be.
But to be fair, though, I think I told you before college, I didn't know any Jewish people.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's just where I grew up. I was like, I went to college, had my first like Jew friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I didn't even know y'all really existed, dude. like you're the first Hanukkah celebrating guy I've ever met. Like,
that's funny as shit. Yeah, that was one of the cool things about being on the police department was I met people from everywhere, all different races, genders, or sexes, whatever. And you get forced into situations where you like I don't even know, risky situations. I guess a lot of people get this in the military too, where it's like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what color, who you like to sleep with, whatever. When you're in a shit situation, you get to see a person for a person.
Right.
And it's like, I care about your true colors.
Yep.
And that's it.
And your capabilities.
Yeah.
And that's like, there was somebody talking about I think Southwest or some airlines trying to get a certain number of like woman or minority pilots. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bro, I don't care what the pilot looks like. I want the best pilot you got. Like, that's it. I don't care because that shit doesn't matter for a pilot. Like, I don't care if it's man or woman, white or black or or whatever.
Right.
No, I just want the best one.
Exactly.
Like, who can do the job the best?
Dude, exactly. And that goes right into police work too. And that's one of my issues I've always had with the physical standards. Like, dude, I'm all about women being cops. I know a couple that are really badass.
Right.
But I know a lot that couldn't pass the standard, the standard as a man, right? Because when you make a call to the police and people show up,
yeah, you don't know who's coming.
You don't know who's coming. You don't get to say, this is a job for a guy who's a little bit stronger. This is a job for a girl that needs to talk nicely. Right. Like, call it sexist or whatever, but there is a line between overall general performance between the majority of men and women when it comes to strength, fighting capability, et cetera. Yep. And I'm like, there needs to be, this is like one of the only places that it 100% makes sense that there should be a level playing field as far as like your physical capabilities.
Yep.
And it's crazy to me that there's like still quotas and agendas that need to be met based on like women and men. And I'm like, no, it's white and black. There's no gray area. You can either do it or you can't do it.
Right.
And there's a ton of guys that can't do it too. So but there needs to be like some form of standard. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Southwest or any job that you're doing. Like, there shouldn't even be a place to put race or gender. There's no gray area. There's a black and white line. You can either perform the job the way that it needs to be done, and that's who I want. And there's a guy that can't do it. Like, there's no in between.
No, 100%.
I don't know why there's even a discussion about it.
Yeah. And that's like here, like when when I hire people or even interview them, I just want somebody that's like motivated to come to work and make money. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't really put a whole lot of thought into, race or gender or whatever. It's like, no, dude, like, are you able to do the job better than the next guy? You know what I'm saying? It
goes back to sports. Like, for me, almost all of life lessons that I've learned go back to, I learned a lot in high school, at football in particular. It's like, do you care if your running back, as an offensive lineman, do you care if your running back's black or white?
No.
I'm going to open this hole up for you. I want you to be capable to run through that motherfucker.
That's right.
I don't care who you are.
No.
And I feel like it just goes back to that. Like, and I feel like we learned that lesson a lot in life as playing football and stuff, is like, you don't care about race at all. And I think that kind of sets you up for the rest of your life. Like, to be like, I want the guy that can get the job done. And I see you as the person, as how you can perform things, not what you,
or like, even if you're given like a lot of effort or if you just don't care or whatever. And I think, who was in the NFL? I think it was like when Antonio Brown was in New England. Mm-hmm. They were like, look, I don't care how much talent you got or whatever. We're in New England, and that's the Belichick Brady type deal. And they're we run shit a certain way, and we expect certain shit.
Yep.
And none of that flashy bullshit's going to work around here, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't care how good you are. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want it around here.
Yeah.
And I like that idea of like setting a standard, keeping it, and then if people aren't meeting that standard, you get rid of.
Yeah, it's culture.
Yeah,
it's establishing a good culture, and it makes everybody accountable. It makes everybody motivated, et cetera, to do your job.
Correct.
And I think that it's crazy. I go back to it so often of like, this translates from something that I learned in high school football. And it's you just think you're playing high school football, but I think that the life lessons in football are carried out throughout the rest of your life. Yeah.
And I think a big part of it too is just having somebody that's holding you accountable to do a certain job. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember we would be watching film on the previous week's game, and then they would point out, like, if you missed a block or something, they'd be like, hey, rewind it. Yep. Gene, you missed that block. I'm like, fuck.
Dude, how many times would they they would run that back in front of a room of your peers. And that's another thing of like learning to be accountable at a young age, is like, these are your 60 probably best friends at high school. And when you're in it, that's your world, dude. That's everything. That's your social, that's your family. That's everything. And when you have a coach bring back a thing and say, Jeannie didn't do your fucking job. Jeannie didn't do your fucking job. And they rewind it 5 times and all your friends are watching. You're like, fuck, man. Like, what's the perception going to be of me now?
Let's try not to do that again.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And I do the same shit here. Like our group text with like all of us that like sell work. It's like, hey, man, or like you messed this up, or hey, how come this? And I'll call you out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's never malicious either. It's always like, get better. Let's all get better.
Right.
So we got the sales challenge. I won't put the number out there, but we have a metric that Gene put out for us to meet in sales for the month, and we get to go golfing on Friday.
Just meet the quota, man.
Dude, I'm just the most motivated I've ever seen.
Doing pretty good so far.
It's the most motivated I've ever seen Josh.
Josh actually started calling old customers back and stuff.
Bro, I sent him a message last night, and I was like, do you think I need a permit for this? And he said, permits are for pussies. And I was like, really? And he said, no, I just want to go fucking golfing. That shit was hilarious. And I think a big important thing we need to add on that is that we're going to do teams, and the loser is going to have to shotgun a beer after every losing hole.
Yeah, you might have to get an Uber for the way back from the golf trip.
Carly? Oh, that'd go over like a fart in church, right? Calling her on something like, hey, Carly, we need a ride home from the golf course.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
I told you guys, I'm going to go ahead and book a Friday in April to golf.
Yeah, somebody else might be playing.
Yeah, and if you guys don't meet the quota, I'm going to take some customers.
Yeah.
So
I like it, man. I think it's cool. Like, we're working as a team, like, fired up to, like,
oh, yeah.
Like, last night in the group text, they're like, hey, has anybody talked to this guy yet? And it's like, yeah, I already saw it on Facebook. Like, I'm already fucking inboxing. Right. I'm like, it's funny. It's cool that everybody's, like, working together, trying to have one goal. And I think that you as a team leader, that's probably rewarding to see.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the whole sales world is fun because you can do competitions like that and nobody loses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
It's like it's all just fun competition that is benefiting everybody.
Right. Because if I don't hit this quota and we don't get to go golfing on whatever date, I'm still probably going to look back on it and be like, dude, I fucking killed it this month.
Right. Yeah. You still had a good month.
A good commission check.
Right.
Like, you still push to do a little bit. And this just a bonus on top of it.
Right.
Something that makes it fun. Like, it's pretty cool. I've never been in sales. I know you've been in sales a long time. Mm-hmm. But I think sales is cool because it is competitive.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I was competitive with pretty much everything in my life, so this is translated. Like, I like it. I enjoy it a lot.
Well, yeah, the sales world should be pushed and, like, viewed as a competitive industry.
Yeah.
Because it is. Yeah. Whether it's between you and other salesmen working for, like, salesman of the month or a bonus or a golf trip or even just between you and the customer and trying to beat competition when you sell a job. Mm-hmm. It's all competitive.
Yeah.
And guys that have that competitive mentality definitely excel in it.
Yeah.
And dude, sales is definitely like something that you either have it or you don't.
Yeah. So I wanted to touch on that because I've heard that a bunch of times in my life. And I've heard people, my buddies on the police department, when I told them what I was doing now, they're like, dude, we knew you'd fucking kill it in sales. And I'm like, is that a compliment? Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you trying to say here? And I don't know what makes a good salesman and what doesn't. I think motivation is probably just a huge part of it.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is, like, you almost got to be like a chameleon, right? Like, if I go up to a house to sell something, like, I immediately start looking at things around the house that might connect me to this person.
Like if they got like a boat with some fishing rods in it.
Dude,
okay,
yes.
Shit, that's what I'm talking about.
100%.
You know? Or
100%. I sold a job down the street, I think, just because I go crabbing. And me and him, he wanted to show me all his boats, talk about crabbing, talk about all this shit. And I was like, I don't think our price is better. I know it wasn't. In fact, he told me who else quoted it, and we still got the job. Yeah, because of it.
And something else is like with the Marlboro lights in the truck, right? Mm-hmm. That's another thing. Like if you go up to a job and the customer comes out to like do the estimate and they're smoking, shit, I'll smoke one with you, bud. Or if it's like 1, 2 o'clock and they're like drinking a beer, I'm like, shit, I'll drink a beer with you, bud. Like, like that goes a long way.
Yeah,
you know?
You got to be relatable
for sure
to people.
Yep.
And you have to be, you have to connect with them in a way, not like super intimate or anything, but you have to connect with them in the way. And like, I do think that as humans, we strive for interaction. So I do enjoy that part of it.
Yeah.
Like trying to find interactions with the people.
Yeah, but then sometimes you get customers that just want to talk for like an hour. You're like, okay, well, this is too much.
Dude, I got one of them.
See you later, bud.
I got one of them, and you know who he is. And he always invites me into his house for coffee. And it's like, God, you're so nice, but brother, I got to get going. Like,
yeah, like my phone has rang like 19 times since I've been here.
Yeah. And I talked to Steph about this last night too, and I was gonna bring it up to you today, anyways. And I'm like, there's a fine line with customer service, right? So I've never been in the customer service industry where it's like, yeah, you do want to appease people to get a sale, and like we're all, I mean, the people that I know are at least good people at heart, right? So nobody wants to be a dick, but there comes a point in time when you're not going to get walked all over. And I almost feel comfortable saying, because when I brought this situation up to Steph, she's like, tell Gene what happened. Like, Gene's not going to have a problem with you telling somebody to fuck off if they're trying to walk all over you as a person. Yeah. And
you got to know when to walk away, dude.
Right.
Because there's bad customers just as much as there is bad service providers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, like the other day, I talked to you about that guy that tried to kind of like renegotiate the terms, like the day before we're going to do the job that he already agreed to. He agreed to the price, what we were doing, the whole deal, scheduled for the next day, and then he tries to like renegotiate it.
Like, nah, bro.
Look, dude, like
that ain't working.
Right. Now's not the time, you know?
Yeah. And I think that it's funny. Chris had said it, and you had said it too, that it's like when you go into deals like that, trying to appease people, it ends up usually working out bad. Like whether you cut the price or you add something, it's like it's always one thing on top of the next, on top of the next, on top of the next. By the end of the job, you're just like, we lost money, I lost time. This was stressful as shit. It was not worth the squeeze.
Yep.
100%. At all. And I'm used to being back to that customer service thing. It's been a little bit different for me. As like when you're at work as a police officer and somebody pisses you off or is being ridiculous, you can literally just say, fuck off.
Yeah, you're literally in control of the whole situation.
Right. It's the flip.
Yeah.
They're in control of the situation and you have to make them happy.
Yeah.
Not that I tried to make people happy when I was a cop too, but just the things that stand out of my mind, it's typically dealing with criminals who are not in control of the situation. This is like the complete flip side of it.
Right.
So I can't just say if I don't like your number you're throwing back at me, I just be like, well, fuck off.
No, we're going to do it the other way.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't fly.
No.
So I've been trying. That's been a learning curve for me.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's fun regardless.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. And, I think we did like a Facebook or an Instagram thing, like asking people what their biggest issue is with contractors in the area. And I think the main response on that was just like, I guess, returning phone calls, like initially to get the estimate sent up. And I think in our general area, there is a lack of professionals that are contractors, whether it's home remodeling or the tree services or whatever. I mean, because we're busy, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's shit does fall through the cracks. It does happen. I think we try our best to reach out to people.
Dude, 100%. I'm like on it.
And people just aren't happy if they got to wait 2 days to get a call back.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
Or like, hey, I can't meet you till next week. Can we say? And then they're like, that's not acceptable.
Right.
It's like, look, dude, like that's kind of what I got.
Yeah,
like,
I got 6 other people saying the same thing to me behind the scenes.
Right.
Like you're just happen to be number 7 because of the date that it lined up.
Yep.
On the other side of that, what is cool about being in this area is I run into several people. Like one of my best customers is one of our friends from high school's uncle. And we just went to go bid a job for somebody who taught us in high school or was like a student aide. Like I cared a lot more because I'm in this area.
Right.
And I'm take it how you want, say it sounds bad that I don't care about a customer that lives in 45 minutes away that I don't have any ties to. Like, dude, I care about how that job gets done. I care about calling that person back. I know that they're paying a service and there's somebody that I care about in my community. So that is cool for me coming back to Calvert, not being in that situation when I was a police officer, because me and you had talked about this before. Like we think that you should have to work in the area that you live.
In your community.
Because you fucking care more.
Yeah, 100%.
You care more. It's like when I go to bid Mrs. So-and-so down the street a job, I'm going to be there every single day making sure it's done right because I care about her.
Right. And you're going to see her again and have to talk to her again.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
As a police officer, if I go to a call that's like somebody stole a purse, like if it's one of my 1,800 calls that year, like the chances that I even remember it are slim to none. if I'm living here and Mrs. Jones down the street, who I went to school with, her Uncle Tommy, gets her purse stolen, dude, I'm going to spend the rest of my fucking day trying to find that goddamn purse.
Yeah. It's like a mission now.
Yeah. And I feel like that carried over with contracting too. And salesman is like, I care about this area and this community. Yeah. And it's like, I want you to know, like, when you call Mackenzie, like Gene or Jimmy came out there and they fucking did it right and they gave a shit about it.
Yep.
When you call us, you're getting craftsmanship and somebody who gives a fuck about your job.
Yeah. And I mean, shit does go wrong too. Like, you know, yards get destroyed or the truck backs into the grass and makes ruts or whatever. You know, shit happens. But as long as you're like communicating it and then you give an effort to make it right, that goes a long way, dude.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you on a job?
I guess with like tree work, man, like we've never hit a house or anything but like, you know, when limbs come down, you're roping it or whatever. And like we've kind of, I think we've ripped a gutter off, ripped like a deck railing off.
No, that's not bad.
It's not, no, it sucks. It's one of them things where it seems like a really big deal at the time, you know? But then you just go back and like you finish the job for the day, but then you just, before you can collect the check or whatever,
make it right.
You got to make it right.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely not making money on that job.
Yeah.
But just shit like that.
Yeah. I haven't run into anybody that doesn't seem like they'd be understanding of an issue that I can't control like that.
Right.
I coming into it, I thought people were going to be.
Well, it's all communication, man.
Yeah.
Like say you're cutting a tree down in a backyard and like a limb comes down and like takes the railing off the deck. Well, if you let the dude know that, hey, when you get home from work, dude, like the railing's off your deck, like this happened or whatever. Yeah. I'm working on it. We're going, you know, we'll get it right.
Yeah. Then
it's not a huge catastrophe when they get home from work calling you and, you know, screaming at you. So it's all about how you kind of get ahead of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, really, that's the main thing, dude. And you can't be scared of having those hard conversations.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of people try to avoid those confrontational phone calls. That's just part of being a grown-up, dude. Like, you're going to have to just grow a pair and be able to make those tough phone calls.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, it doesn't always get resolved 100%, and, like, somebody might not always be happy with the end result. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you got to work through it, you know?
Yeah. Just better on your conscience, too, being completely transparent and being like, hey, this is what happened. Instead of going in the background and trying to fix it on your own and then them noticing like the railing's different, or, you know what I mean?
And dude, I've had people that work for me that they just can't do those types of conversations. They don't want to have them.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, that's cool, but you can't be in this position.
Right.
Like this ain't going to be for you, bud.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to do that.
Yeah. Have you had that happen where you hire a salesman and you think that you have somebody who fits the mold of like being able to sell, and then I don't know, 2 months in, you're like, dude, you cannot talk to people.
Yeah, maybe not so much as not being able to talk to people, but not either. They just don't have some sort of the part of the process that you have to have, like whether it's you know, being able to follow up with customers right away, or being able to, you know, figure out the email and like the CMI or the CRM system that we have in place.
That's pretty easy. Let's be fair.
Or just not being motivated, right? Like if I give somebody like a salesman a monthly quota, and then they're completely content with only meeting half of that for their paycheck, but I'm not content with it on my end. I'm like, well, dude, no, I need more out of you than that. Like that works for you, but it doesn't work for me. You know?
Right. Yeah, that part's weird because I mean, I'm not gonna bring names into it or anything, but I remember having a conversation with somebody when I first started, and the feeling was like kind of like relax, like it's gonna be okay. And I was like, no, dude, I don't think it is. I think that Gene asked for something and it should probably fucking get done. And I'm like, I'm stressing because it's not done. And he's like, nah, you just got to relax. I'm like, I don't think that's going to fucking fly. Well, it didn't fly. But I think it's cool. Like another part of it is like, you're my friend. We've been lifelong friends. Like I care about your business. I care about being successful. I care about my friend's perception of me as like how hard I work. You know what I mean? Like I give a fuck about it.
Right.
Because it's like I know it's your well-being and it's your lifehood that's on the line with these jobs, and I feel that. And I don't know if it's more on like a because we're friends prior to it. I mean, I like to think that everybody's like kind of committed to this whole thing, but
Yeah.
it definitely adds a level of commitment to it.
And I think we got a good group of core guys for sure. You know, I think like you're kind of in a different position because you have like the retirement and everything that you got going on. But I mean, it's evident that you care about coming to work and doing a good job every day. Yeah. And I think most of the guys that are here do.
Yeah, they do.
You know, it's just taking pride in what you do every day.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's like you're looking out for the company making money or not. I mean, very few people come to work just completely not giving a shit and just want to get through the day and go home.
Yeah, government workers do though, bro.
Yeah, well, that ain't flying around here, brother.
No. But it makes
because when you work for a small company, if you have that mentality, it's fucking very apparent very quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's not going to fly. It gets called out really quickly, too. And it's very evident. Oh, yeah. It's very evident, especially when there's like super big highs and super big lows involved. And it's crazy. Like with a smaller company, the highs are fucking, I know Chris said it, but like last night when I was told I was getting a big job, like I was at home and I was like, fucking close that shit, motherfucker. I'm like fired up and Steph's like, what's wrong? I'm like, that's a big fucking job. We're going golfing, motherfucker. But like, it's a very high. And then when I have something that's kind of minor happen on a job where something doesn't go right, like the Charles County thing, and I'm like, we didn't make money today. Like I got to go to Gene and I got to say, hey, we didn't make fucking money today.
Yeah. So we worked all day and we lost like $500.
Yeah. And like, if you're at a bigger company, like you might not keep like, oh, the boss man will cover it. Like me, I'm like, fuck, I let my friend down. Yeah. Like I got to make this up on the next one. Like I'm fucking upset about it.
And I'm not going to let you forget it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But the lows are low and the highs are fucking super high.
Yeah. And it's hard, man. Like when you work for the big corporations, they look at everything like either annually or quarterly or whatever. They'll look at 3 months and be like, yeah, you know, well, we lost like whatever. We didn't, you know, meet our quota by like 5% or whatever. I look at the shit daily.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like, look, we can't afford to go 3 months and not make money.
If we're losing for 3 months, I'm working at the fucking bowling alley. So we gotta figure this shit out.
Yeah, we're all looking for new jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I called Manuel last week and he's like, I was like, we got to get this done today. And he's like, okay. You think about giving me $100? I was like, no, I think, Manuel, that if we finish this today, we're going to come here on Monday and we're going to have a fucking job.
Right.
So, and he was just joking. I was not joking. I'm like, dude, yeah, that's our bonus is we get a fucking job on Monday. Yep.
No, it's a cool work atmosphere though, because you keep it competitive, you keep it lighthearted, but then like I think you saw it. I think that job where the yard got messed up. You can pull support in because everybody's on the same team, right? Yeah. Like, so it's like you got a couple guys there working, trying to wrap the job up because it's got to get done today. Well, then you call another driver. Hey, dude, I need you to. I know like you're done doing what you got to do, but I need you to go over here and help. Yeah. And people do, you know, they do that, trying to just help out the overall bigger picture.
Fucking Cody texted me, and I had asked him like, hey, talk to Ruben, let me know if you can go over there. He texted me and he said, don't even hesitate. Like you got something like that. Put me on it, like I'm here to help. And I was like, that's fucking cool. Hardworking kids, I mean, which I don't know a whole lot of hardworking kids, but I feel like you got two really good younger guys here that are dependable, reliable, and I don't know, decent humans.
Yeah, after that crane job yesterday, I texted him. I was like, hey man, get your crane license. Yeah. Maybe that might be the next big investment.
That'd be fucking awesome.
It would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I got a buddy that does the same shit we do up in like north of like the Potomac area, like Rockville area, and he does big tree work. So he bought a crane a couple years ago, and he's like, yeah, I don't need it every day. He goes, but I send it out every day because I got it.
That's pretty cool.
And that just makes everything easier and faster. Yeah. And then when I do need a crane, I got it. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
something to look into.
Yeah, for sure. So that might be one of the next big investments, but you got to have somebody that can run the shit. That's the thing.
Ain't gonna be me.
Nah. Now you just gotta sell the work, bud.
Yeah. I can barely back up the Buick, man.
Yeah. All right, bud. Well, I think that was a pretty good talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully next week we'll try to get a guest on here or something.
Yeah, and that's been like trying to figure out, like, I'll be honest with you, is like who because I think we have good flow back and forth and we can talk about whatever, and it's like, do we really want to get bottlenecked down into like talking about one thing? So
yeah, we
need people to tell us what they want to hear. Yep. So comment on the Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. We're available on Apple and Spotify now. DM us if any questions, and get your free quote today.
Cool. All right, man. See you next week.